Gonna be okay. Yeah, it's good. It is good. Maybe down a little. All right. Hello, Anne. Hi, beautiful Pepsi. How are you? Grand Rising. How are you feeling these days? Are you feeling better? Yes, awesome. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. He was doing well yesterday when I talked to him. Yeah, he's doing better. He said they got him up to walk the hallways, and he still isn't quite there yet, but I mean, they told him at least a week, so we'll see how he does. The thing is, they don't do any work, any rehab, walking or anything during the weekend. So he's like, I wonder if they'll let me leave, because it's really close to his house. I wonder if they'll let me leave and then come back. And I said, I don't think so, Dad. It's not like that kind of a facility. Because he's like, I can walk at home. He's so he's stubborn. He is a stubborn one. Right? He's just, I want to go home. He misses his dog. So, hey, Dolly. Hey. All right. Well, we have 4 people in here, so that's over the 3 mark. So we're going to play the Butterfly Sanctuary. This is our theme song. And here we go. And sing along. We're going to learn this together.
When morning greets the rising sun, another sacred day has just begun. We gather here with open hearts, each soul a light, each flame a spark, a place where peace becomes our way, where love is lived in what we say. With unity and deep respect, we build tomorrow step by step.
Hello,
The
Nicole.
butterflies are taking flight, together shining through the night. No soul is ever left behind. One heart, one family.
Hey, Steffi. Hi, beautiful.
One life. Welcome to the Butterfly Sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. Free, 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 our hearts are beating, lighting hope like endless stars. Christ conscious collective rising, hand in hand across the earth, holding frequencies of heaven, knowing every soul has worth. We're building love, we're building peace, we're building heaven here on earth.
I love you too.
Each
I miss
morning
you too,
wisdom
Nikki.
lights the way with cards and messages every day.
Hi, Jordan. Hi,
Masters
beautiful.
softly guide, archangels always by our side. The councils whisper, stand as one, until the work of love is done. Every reading, every song reminds us where our hearts belong. The The dragons stir the ancient flame, calling each of us by name. Remember who you've always been. The light has always lived within. Welcome to the butterfly sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. Free, 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 our hearts are beating, lighting hope like in the stars. Christ conscious collected rising, hand in hand across the earth, holding frequencies of heaven, knowing every soul has a word. We're building love, we're building peace, we're building heaven here on earth. We're the pillars standing steady, holding light through every storm.
right.
Grid by grid, our hearts awaken, helping new tomorrows form. The Aurelian arc is calling, seeds of hope begin to rise. Every spark becomes a beacon, love awakening every life. Angelic humans, hearts unfolding, ancient wisdom newly born, walking gently with creation, greeting every sacred dawn. Welcome to the butterfly sanctuary, where every soul remembers who they are. Free, 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 forever shining, lighting hope like in the stars. Christ conscious collective rising.
There, now my babies are inside.
Peace and love, unity, respect, walking forward hand in hand.
Hey, Flower Power. Hi, beautiful.
Every kindness, every song. Together we are holding heaven until the whole world sings along. The flame remembers, the heart remembers.
Hi, Irish. Hi, beautiful.
Welcome home.
Love it. Okay.
Don't let fear become your guide. You
gotta
gotta
play some
universe
music that we created together and some that I created. So here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Grand Rising. It is Thursday already this week. Can't even. Time is just non-existent, I swear. Everything's just going so fast, fast, fast. Make every moment your best. Live your highest timeline every day. Set that intention every day. Choose. It's always a choice you make to be on that highest timeline. We're going to get started with our collective cards. We got collective cards. We got messages from the masters. Then we do our grid work. After the grid work, we do conversations with God. Then I have share time. If you guys want to come up and anything, we have a share time. And then at 11:11, we do our final working with our 8th chakra, the Son of Orion. That is our class. That is what we do. And I am guided by Spirit. Hi, Sharon. Hi, beautiful. Guided by Spirit during this class, so you never know what's going to happen. Spirit could tell me to go a totally different way in 10 minutes, and that's the way I'm going. I always follow Spirit in here. So here we go. Our first card of the day is Chakra Wisdom. And we are live over on YouTube also, so that I don't have to download from TikTok and then upload back into into YouTube. So that is why I have YouTube also going live. Although it's more like a podcast over there than it is in TikTok. also, what am I trying to say? I can't think. Okay, we're good. It is time for our cards. So, reward myself, sacral chakra. I know that I am truly worthy and deserve to receive the good things in life, and I give myself permission to have them. It is time to enjoy the fruits of my labors. I aim to incorporate and embrace fun and joy in my life. I realize that all work and no play is a recipe for energy flow disruption and exhaustion. I allow myself to experience and receive more pleasure in my life, and I am flexible and open to change. I am receptive to embracing activities and events that come my way, even those I may have avoided in the past. Yes. Thank you for the likes, the love, the shares, guys. You all are appreciated and loved. Always. All right, here is our healing energy. Our healing energy today. Hi, Gina. Gina, hi, beautiful angel. Affirmations. Affirmations are very important. Anything you say, and I say this a lot, anything you say after I am is an affirmation. And make sure anything that you're saying after I am is of the highest frequency, because that will keep you on your highest timeline. Well, hi, Jen. It's beautiful to see you today, darling. Grand rising. I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and am respected by others. Yes. Yes, it's so good to see familiar faces. Sassy, Steffi. It's so good to see you guys again. But you're always here with us. If you're on our butterfly, you're always here with us. Always. Your energy is in this room, whether you walk in through the door or not. And that is the beauty of this community. The path to light. I make the conscious choice to move toward the light one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. Yes. The path to light and freedom through faith. I calm my thoughts and rise above fear. I free myself of all doubt by entrusting my doubts to God. I have faith in God's perfect timing and placement. I trust His will and find freedom. Yes. Beautiful. We're up there into our crown chakra, into our throat chakra and crown chakra today. I love that. Here is our Starseed Oracle. Starseed Oracle says, baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Go through the portals that are being opened to you. Go through them. Hello, Frosso Pell. Welcome in. Welcome into the Butterfly Sanctuary. If you made it your way into this room, you are remembering who you are at a soul level, and that is why you have found our room. Earth is pulsing, pulse of the mother. Slow down. Take time in nature. Connect with nature. Connect with the trees and the animals. Yes? And your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Everything that you think, say, write down, any actions that you take are creating your life. You are creating your life One day at a time, one moment at a time, one now moment at a time. Because your life is a canvas. Believe that, know that, and live accordingly to that truth. Here is our Work Your Light. Work Your Light cards. They are basically spirit little kicks in the ass. That's what they are. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Are you being called to journey somewhere? Get to it. Now, Imrama can also mean in the spirit world. If you're being called to get in your Merkaba, in your light body, and do something in the spirit world, that can be a journey also. Hello, Jamie. Welcome in. I have a very good friend named Jamie. He is a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Trust the niggle. Trust your intuition. Hello, GWP8. Welcome in. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? What is your intuition telling you? And we get this so often. Share your voice. Your voice carries codes. Whether you share your singing voice or your talking voice, your whispering voice, whatever voice it is you're sharing, it carries codes for other people. So share it. We get this a lot. Connect with the pyramids on this planet. With your consciousness. Connect to the consciousness of the pyramids. Mm-hmm. Every act of courage. This is called Be the Garden. Be the Garden. Yes. Hi, Teresa. Hi, beautiful angel. Hello, Mary. I see you. Here is our spirit junkie. I am committed to bringing forth my greatness. I will no longer play small. Don't play small, guys. Play big picture thinking game. Play that game. Play the big picture thinking game. It's a beautiful game. Here is our animal for the day. Our animal. Wow, I see a lot of new faces in here. The elk nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. The only thing that limits you is you. Nobility. Yes. And here's our crystal for the day. Our crystal is turquoise. Beautiful. Spiritual path. Your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. You're on a spiritual path, each and every one of you. It is leading you. Connect with your higher self through your imagination. Your imagination is the key to your higher self. That will put you on your spiritual path. Many of us know who we are at a soul level, and therefore we are following our spiritual path. As above, so below. 5D, 3D. Which keys are you still turning? Are you still turning these 3D keys? I will tell you one thing. If you come in this room, if you stepped foot into this room, you have just turned your 5D key into the butterfly sanctuary. And you have opened this door. Doesn't matter the size of the door. It's what's behind the door that matters. Knowledge, wisdom, higher consciousness, 5D thinking. That is what is behind the butterfly door. And you have just used that key there that you have inside of you. The playmate. Oh, yes, dragons are playmates of butterflies. That's right. because we're all butterflies in here. We are all butterflies. That's a 7 card. A 7 is lucky, of course, right? And it's card 16. Now is the time to play. Yes. Become the master gamer. That's right. Whether you're working on a goal, busy with achievement, or attempting to make a major discovery, stop and play. It can seem counterintuitive, but play is the highest form of research. Einstein said that. It leads to untold new insights, inventions, and flat out joy. And joy is expansive. If you want to feel vital, refreshed, recharged, and experience the power of your soul's wingspan, then play. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Let your spirit take wing by giving yourself the updraft of play. Absolutely. Don't forget to play. All right, here is our awakened dreamer. Tilt your gaze skyward. Drop all worry about how to create a dreamier life. Tilt your gaze skyward and attune yourself to the wavelength of your oneness with God, Goddess, Creator, Dreamweaver Supreme. Become aware of how your spiritual magnetism attracts the most wonderful people, opportunities, and circumstances. Yes. Know that. You are creating everything in your life, so you're bringing your mirrors to you. Because we create with our mirrors. Look at another and see yourself, because that is a mirror of you. Here's our butterfly for the day. Nothing is impossible for the heart. Love will always find a way. Love is the ultimate emotion. It is the ultimate emotion. All right, and here is our first Ascended Master coming through. Hi, Diana. Hi, beautiful. And Ashley. Hi, beautiful angel. Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Yes, you are. You absolutely are. Loved unconditionally. All right. We have messages from the Ascended Masters, as always. If you resonate with anything that I say in here, take it. If you don't, leave it, as always. The measure of spiritual maturity is not how many mysteries you can explain, but how deeply you can love while living among uncertainty. Many are seeking certainty. We invite you to instead cultivate presence. There will always be questions that cannot yet be answered. Do not allow unanswered questions to become barriers to living beautifully today. Yes, hi Chris. Hi beautiful. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the love and the light and the shares and everything, guys. Thank you. Every smile, every forgiving heart, every helping hand is already participating in the future that you wish to see. Heaven is not only a destination, it is something you practice. It sure is. Hello, Divine Chosen. Welcome in. You know, we are chosen because we chose to be chosen. We chose to remember who we are at a soul level. That's right. Archangel Michael says, stand in truth without borrowing the weapons of fear. Your greatest protection is not constant vigilance. It is integrity. When your words, actions, and heart become aligned, fear finds very little to attach itself to. Cut away unnecessary worry. Cut away comparison. Cut away the belief that darkness is stronger than light. Light has never needed permission to shine. And I can prove that darkness is not stronger than light. You know how I can prove that? Because if you put darkness into light, what happens? Nothing. Because darkness cannot penetrate light. But if you put light into darkness, what happens? Light penetrates darkness and lights it up. That is how I know that light is more powerful than darkness and always will be. Bet you never thought about it that way. And if you did, good on you. Good on you. Archangel Raphael says, remember to heal while you serve, because we are service to others. Once you know who you are at a soul level, you are always service to others. Many light workers pour from an empty cup. Rest is not abandoning your mission. Joy is part of your mission. Yes. Rest when you need to. Rest is part of our mission. If we no longer rest, then our cup gets empty and our energy gets used. And so we need to fill our energy up, fill our energy cups up. And I'll tell you, when you walk into this room, you are filling up your energy cup. Because it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of knowing and a sense of being something bigger than you ever thought you could be. Because you are surrounded by your mirrors. Always. And that will make you powerful. You will become who you're meant to be. Nature restores frequencies and the mind cannot manufacture. Walk barefoot. Watch the sunrise. Laugh without guilt. And healing is contagious. It certainly is. The Council of Light says the next great awakening will not come from one teacher, one movement, or one voice. It will come through millions of ordinary people quietly choosing extraordinary love. Yes, hi, Mama Yaya. Hi, darling. I'm getting so excited about Saturday night. I'm going to make another poster. Another 2 posters, Spirit says. It will come through millions of ordinary people. That's right. This is how civilizations change. Not all at once, heart by heart, home by home, conversation by conversation. The future is woven through countless small choices. Never underestimate the influence of one peaceful soul. Love ripples. Yes. Yes. Hello, sweet Melissa. Welcome in, beautiful. Hi, Bumbles. Welcome in, beautiful angels. You are an angel. If you made it in here, you're an earth angel. This is Betty's song. I wonder where she is today. I'm sure she's being called in right now, so I'm sure she'll show up. Collective reflection for today. Today, ask yourself only 3 questions. Where can I choose peace instead of reaction? Who can I encourage without expecting anything in return? And what beautiful thing can I create today that reminds someone that they are loved? Yes. Don't ever stop creating, guys. Don't ever stop creating. Choose to keep creating whatever it is you create. We all bring different beautiful things to this world. Sometimes the highest service isn't found in changing the whole world in a day. It's found in becoming the kind of person who quietly changes every room that they enter. Yes. Hi, Jill. Hi, beautiful. May your heart remain gentle when the world feels loud. May your wisdom remain humble when others seek certainty. May your courage remain steady when the path grows unfamiliar. May your light remind others of the light already living within them. And may you remember, you are not asked to carry the whole flame, only to tend the one that was entrusted to your own heart. Every loving choice becomes another spark in the dawn. Yes. This is Chasing the Sunrise. All right, let's talk to Sananda this morning. Those of you that have been coming to class for a long time know that Sananda is the name of Yeshua on the mothership, because he is Captain Sananda. He basically is the captain of the mothership, the New Jerusalem. And he has a message for us today, and it's realizing the power within you. And it's channeled by James McConnell. He says, I am Sananda, and I come to be with you at this time, in these times, that you are certainly learning to move beyond the matrix more and more and more. Even the idea that you know about the matrix, that you know that it is an illusion, is quite an accomplishment beyond that of your fellow men. They're trying to stop me from saying this too. Can't stop, won't stop. Let me clear my throat chakra a minute. All right. So, even the idea that you know about the matrix, that you know that it is an illusion, is quite an accomplishment between that of your fellow men. Think of it in terms, not of in an ego sense, that you are beyond there, but in terms of moving to a point where you are recognizing the power that you have within you once again, that you are recognizing the unity consciousness, that you are recognizing that all are one, and that you can indeed be the one. That is what this is all about. It is assisting you, guiding you to the point where you recognize and realize just who you are. And once you begin to recognize who you are, you will remember who you have been from many times previously. You will have unlocked your Akashic records. Many of us have gone into our Akashic records and seen that we have had past lives in Egypt and in Lemuria and Atlantis, because that's who we are at a soul level. Once you begin to recognize who you are, you will remember who you have been from many times previously. Not only lifetimes here upon this planet, upon this evolution, but times beyond, way beyond, going back into galaxies and systems and destinies long ago. And you will find that you are ready, this time. Once again, just as in the olden times, to accomplish your mission, whatever that is that you came here to do. And certainly all of you came here to be those way showers, those ones that paved the way for others to follow after you. Think about it in terms of what people do. Think about it in terms of what people do, you know, out there that even know about the ring pass not, that know about a dimensional doorway, that even think in terms of dimensions. That is changing. It is happening slowly. We will say here. But know that it is definitely coming forward in terms of people beginning to awaken to what you have already awakened to. And you are indeed leading the way to bring about those great changes that have been spoken about in terms of the changeover that you are all moving through and the transition that you are all moving through now in your now moment. Hi, Val. I see you, beautiful. So please understand that you all are here to experience first within yourselves the doorway, and then to prepare that doorway for others who are also will be ready to walk through that door when their time comes, when they reach the certain frequency that is needed for it to happen. Just as you are nearing that frequency more and more and more. That is what this is all about. I am Sananda, and I leave you now in peace and love and oneness, and that you continue to recognize and realize the immense power that you have within you as you become more and more the one to bring about the great changes that are coming. The Spirit just said, Neo. You are the one, Neo. Yep. You are all the one. We are all the one. It is all you. It has always been you. But we must always use our discernment. Always. Ah, yes. Let's talk about this. Archangel Michael says sponge or mirror. Sponge or mirror. This is a channel by John J. Castle. The only fight, the one thing a person truly fights for is a fight for energy. There are two ways to obtain energy. By finding the source within yourself, or by looking for energy outside. That is in your fellow human beings. Today, as more and more people are burdened by the events of our time, sometimes to the point of mental and physical collapse, a sufficient supply of vital energy is more important than ever. More and more people are experiencing crisis of meaning, and fewer can hide the fact that something is missing for their happiness. So they embark on a search, and they will find you. They will find me. They will find you. They will find us. The energy vampire begins his work. People who avoid transformation work need an external energy source to somehow cope with their lives. These people develop an incredible sense for where and from whom they can obtain or tap energy. I'm sure you've experienced this before. You've had a nice conversation with someone, and afterwards you're so exhausted, as if you'd been carrying stones all day. There's only one thing to do. Stop having nice conversations. Small talk leads nowhere. What does someone want from you? Therefore, the first and most important task is to recognize, what does this person want from me? Do they want to impose their problems on me without changing anything about themselves? Or are they seeking advice so they can change something? This is a basis on which either a valuable exchange or useless talk takes place. Use discernment, angels. Sponge or mirror. Decide for yourself what you want to be for your friends and fellow human beings. A sponge that soaks everything up, or a mirror in which the next person can see themselves. Make this fundamental decision for yourself. What do you want to be? A sponge or a mirror? After that, everything is easy. It just takes a little practice. And you'll be the master of your energy management. Energy management is important, guys. Because like I said earlier, you cannot be active from a empty cup. However, it can often happen that you feel inexplicably exhaustion. There are primarily two reasons for this. You were in a crowd. Shopping malls can do that. Big crowded places do that. To some of us, because we are empaths and we pick up all the energy. Or you are being energetically besieged or attacked on a subtle level. The energy attacks are real. That is why we have to use protection. And that is shields. Use your imagination. Create a shield around yourself. Use the Maharic seal. That's on YouTube. Maharic seal. It's very powerful. We put on the full armor of God in here every day when we do our grid work. Because we are opening up ourselves, our hearts. We are opening our hearts when we do the grid work. The healing chain, the Aurelian arc energy work. We are opening our hearts. That's right. Archangel Michael says affirmation. For both situations, there is an effective affirmation. And then state your name. So I'll do this this affirmation. I, Thomasina Davis, please ask you, Archangel Michael, to return all foreign energies to their senders or to destroy them. Thank you for that. That is for my highest good. So until you know the exact connections yourself, always ask Archangel Michael for help. You will be amazed at how effective this is and how quickly you are freed from foreign energies. Call upon Archangel Michael. His sword is always with us. Always beside us, just standing there, just waiting. Just like all the ascended masters in your dragon. Always there with you. Hello, hippie. I see you, darling. Hello, darling BX. Yes. Okay. Right. You can use your full name if you want to. Okay. Soul relationships. The resurrection flame, Adama. Yes, let's get this channel because I love the Adama channels. Adama is the beautiful Lumerian that is at Mount Shasta. He says the resurrection flame is one of the many attributes of God. You can resurrect your finances. You can resurrect your bodies. You can resurrect family harmony, and you can resurrect a great number of things you want to expand in your life. We talked about this earlier. It's funny. You can use the words I am, knowing that is the unlimited aspect of you. Or you can say something like, from the Lord God of my being, I call forth now to receive a great infusion of resurrection flame in every cell, atom, and electron in my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, my etheric body, my body elemental, and all my subtle bodies. I wish to heal and resurrect all aspects of my life. And then you can name other things you personally want to resurrect, such as finances, talents, memories, harmony, etc. The sky is not even the limit on how you can use this energy. If you experience lack of any kind in your life, if your body is not in a state of luminosity and immortality, if you are not yet manifesting absolute divine beauty, youth, and perfection, it means that the electrons composing your physical structure are still suffering levels of distortion. Call the resurrection flame to come to your rescue. If this resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. The resurrection flame, we learned about the resurrection flame in the... Okay, Spirit, you want me to get it now? This might take me a minute, but I gotta go find this book that we already did. I don't know why Spirit wants me to find this book, but it is where are you? I don't even know if it's in here. Are you telling me? Oh, goodness gracious. All right, where are you at? Protocols of the Fifth Dimension. That's Bringers to Dawn. Well, I've taught about this many times. Where are you? That is not it. There it is. Oh my goodness gracious. So you're going to help me find it now, Spirit? It is a whole dang book. Protocols of the Fifth Dimension. Every season played its part. Look, and there he is, Adama, High Priest of Telos. Protocols of the Fifth Dimension. Oh my goodness. All right, the resurrection flame. The flame of resurrection, there it is. Okay, okay. It's Adama with Sananda and Nada. Journey to the Temple of Resurrection in the Fifth Dimension. Okay. 7. Love has always carried me, that's right. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So, he says the whole world is in desperate need of many kinds and levels of healing at this time. The word healing has a broad meaning, including many aspects and many levels. Before we can be whole and express the fullness of the light of the I Am again, we have to heal all aspects of ourselves on deeper and deeper levels until completion. You know, people have heard much about healing in so many different ways on the third dimension, but true healing is a little understood. A little what? But true healing is little understood. In fact, in order to understand true healing, it would be wise to understand in greater measure the attributes of the 7 major flames of God, constantly flooding this planet to nurture, recharge, and sustain life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, flower power. Absolutely. The understanding that Adama would like to convey this evening is healing on a higher level, a true healing, not just a temporary solution which requires a more permanent resolution at a later time. The flame of resurrection is another extraordinary tool among others, which is free, easy to use, and very effective. Unfortunately, it has been forgotten and so is not used by the majority of people. The emerald green vibration of the fifth ray of healing and the energies of the great jade temple is one tool, but there are many more awe-inspiring ones. The more aware we become of the tools we have at our disposal at any time, and the more we use them, the more we can transform our lives with ease and grace. Now, Adama would like to give us a greater understanding of the resurrection flame. He will also discuss electrons and how we can raise our consciousness by using the 7 sacred flames of God and the right use of electrons. The flame of resurrection prepares us at the soul level and prepares our bodies for physical immortality, if this is what is chosen. It is also a flame that prepares you to receive the full transformation of the Ascension flame. Let me explain the term flames. On this planet, the 7 sacred flames are the main ones who have sustained humanity in its evolution and life. Of course, in higher dimensions, there are many more, and we are now embracing the energies of the 12 flames. This means 5 more flames are available to us as we raise our consciousness out of the spiritual slumber we have been in for so long. Indeed, there are hundreds more of them which are not revealed in our dimension. For now, let us rest ourselves in this marvelous one this evening. Because they are so wondrous, we could talk about each one for hours and perhaps days. There are in creation many different attributes of God, and each one is represented by its own energetic vibration and action that we call flames or rays. Remember, you are a flame. So I'm talking to you. They are also called by other names as well. However, their names are not as important as understanding their usage and influence in our lives. The main 7 flames are also known as the rainbow rays, and they are connected to everything in creation. There are 7 days of the week, 7 notes on the musical octave, 7 main chakras, 7 main endocrine glands, and 7 main organs and systems in the body, etc. The list is quite long. Each one of these rays represents a specific color vibration and is connected with one of the systems I mentioned above. For example, each day of the week is amplified with the energies of one of the rays and its corresponding color vibration. Each note on the musical octave represents a specific color and ray energy. Each one of the 7 glands and the 7 main organs in your body, each one of the 7 main chakras is connected to one of the rays or flames, and the energy with which it is connected is amplified in that area or day, etc. The resurrection flame also carries the energy of transformation to assist us to move into the 5th dimensional awareness. On the etheric plane and on all dimensions, beautiful temples are erected to amplify each one of the many flames or attributes of the Creator. There are many temples in Telos to nurture these flames, and hundreds of temples existed in the time of Lemuria for that very purpose. The flame of resurrection is something you can use forever, through eternity, always gaining from it. I now bring Adama. Adama says, "Greetings, my dearest ones. This is your friend and mentor, Adama. It is such a pleasure for me and for my team to be with you once more today to present pearls of wisdom and knowledge to those who want to expand their awareness and understanding of God in all its wondrous attributes. I am here today with the guardians of the flame of resurrection, Lord Jesus Sananda, with his beloved twin flame Nada, who was also known in your world as Mary Magdalene in her last incarnation 2,000 years ago. They are here to beam the radiance of their love to all of you. You have been taught so little of the real truth about God and your divinity in your short incarnation on this planet so far. Your knowledge of God is so limited to understand the mysteries of life. There is much knowledge at your disposal today to be embraced and understood for the unfoldment of your consciousness and your reconnection with all aspects of your divinity, so that you can attain finally your spiritual freedom. Nearly all of you have experienced thousands of incarnations on this planet. And for most in the current incarnation, you've been presented with very few pearls of true knowledge. As all this is now changing, today we will impart to your awareness another one of these spiritual treasures, another tool to assist you in your transition to spiritual oneness and wholeness. The flame of resurrection, in its vibration and action, is not uniquely a healing flame. Its sphere of action is vast, and in this short time together, we can cover only the basics. Its actions are of universal dimension and takes place at many levels and frequencies. 2,000 years ago, the Master Jesus used the flame of resurrection to resurrect his own body in the tomb after the death of his mortal body. This alone should give you a clue of the wonders of that flame. When contemplating its greater meaning, what does resurrection really mean? What it did for this great avatar 2,000 years ago, it could also do for you right now. The attributes of this flame have not diminished. On the contrary, it has gathered much momentum, and its powers have multiplied many times. Lord Jesus Sananda with his beloved twin flame Nada are together the Chohans, or guardians of this sacred flame. They are both high-level ascended beings, and they are ever so willing to assist you at any time, especially with the wonders of this sacred flame. Also note that around the time of Easter is when this flame is most active on this planet. This time of the year is a window of opportunity to infuse your entire consciousness, being, and world with this wondrous flame. It is also when nature is infused by the resurrection flame in greater measure and becomes alive again. Although this flame is active at all times, Easter is when its energy doubles in intensity for the benefit of mankind, in commemoration of the Christ energies brought back to this planet by Lord Jesus Sananda. The flame of resurrection, as a sixth ray activity, also embodies the energy of selfless service and ministration. That is what Jesus embodied and demonstrated by his life and his selfless service. He has remained in service to the planet and all of mankind until this present time, and will continue through millennia to come. His experience with the flame of resurrection wasn't unique to him. He simply knew how to use these life-giving and life-enhancing energies. Now that you have all evolved yourselves to a greater level of understanding, it is time for you to use this for yourself. It is so wondrous, and I am so happy to bring you this knowledge. There are many tools at your disposal to create ease in your life and to accelerate your transformation and your evolutionary path. You simply need to be aware of them and use them diligently in your daily life. When you desire healing in your body, you need the energy of the resurrection flame to accomplish this by taking into your body a much higher frequency than you already carry. A superficial temporary healing is not what you are striving for. You all seek something that is permanent and uplifting. You want healing that will reconnect you more consciously with the divine being that you are, which in truth is the source of everything you ever want and desire. You want your healing to reflect and embody once again your divinity, your very prime nature. It is your birthright as a child of God. When the Master Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life," He was not talking about his human self in incarnation. He was teaching the divine law of the great I am that lives in the sacred heart of all of you. Your divine self not yet fully expressed in your present state of awareness. He expressed it because he was fully connected to his divine essence. Understand that the resurrection flame is an energy you can easily use for your benefit by focusing on it, invoking it, and beginning to play with it. Be creative. Hello, Kristen. Hi, Just Be You. All right. You can use the words I am, knowing that it is the unlimited aspect of you. Or you could say something like, from the Lord God of my being, I call forth now to receive a great infusion of resurrection flame in every cell, atom, and electron in my physical body, my emotional body, and all my subtle bodies. I wish to heal and resurrect all aspects of my life. The sky is not even the limit in using this powerful energy. If you experience lack of any kind in your life, if your body is not yet in a state of luminosity and immortality, if you are not yet manifesting absolute divine beauty. Oh my goodness! You gotta be kidding me. So this channel is part of Protocols of the Fifth Dimension. Word for word. Oh my goodness. Irish, it's from 2 totally different sources. Let me show you, okay? Let me show you how this magic is working right now. This is freaking amazing. I love when this happens. Look, there's the first source. Da-da-da. This is the first source, and this is from Era of Light. Now, this is the second source. Right there. Same words, different sources. Isn't that wild? If you are not yet manifesting absolute divine beauty, youth, and perfection, it means that the electrons composing your physical structure are still suffering levels of distortions. Call the resurrection flame to come to your rescue and assist you. Just saying. And with that, oh my goodness. Thank you, Spirit, for that. That just, wow. And that was a source that Spirit had me get. They were like, go get Protocols of the Fifth Dimension now. I didn't even know where the dang book was. But it was behind me on a shelf. I can't. Thank you, Spirit. I love it when you show us the magic is always within us. The magic is always within us. Always. So, use the resurrection flame. I will be making a post on it. Spirit said I have to make a post on it, so I will. I have actually covered all the flames, all the rainbow flames in old posts on my page. I think they might be in one place too. If so, I will repost all those posts because they're very, very powerful. Colors and the days of the week are part of the ancient flames in you and me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Years ago, right? Maybe 2-3 years ago. Oh, see, and the energies of the flames are also connected to each one of our chakras. As you evolve your consciousness, you will discover many more chakras will be activated, and you will become acquainted with many more than just 7 flames. All the flames work individually and together, in a synchronistic way, like rainbows of light to assist and sustain you. Think of energies such as the flame of joy, the flame of harmony, the flame of comfort and peace, etc. Their wonders are simply endless. Yes. Thank you, Adama of Telos, for that. That was amazing. Love the magic. Love the magic. And this is a fun song, Honey in the Morning. Honey in the Morning. Is there anyone in here that is not on our butterfly that would like to be on the butterfly? If you would, just tell me your favorite rainbow color and I will put you on there. And when you're on the butterfly, it just means when you can't make it to class, you're always with us for the grid work. The grid work is for peace, unity, respect, and love on the planet, creating the new earth, anchoring the frequencies on the planet, the codes that are coming in from the Schumann. I haven't even looked at the Schumann today. Let me check it real quick. We have a few more minutes till grid work. Ariana, hi, beautiful. What color would you like, darling? What color would you like? And I will get you on there after class. We also run a heel chain if anyone wants to be on the heel chain. If anyone has anyone that you want on the heel chain. Yellow. All right. Beautiful. Yellow is your solar plexus chakra. Nice. We use that in the grid work. We sure do. Yes. Yes, we will, Irish. Yes, we will. We are going to do soul readings and songs tomorrow night. I did make a post. Please share with all your friends. Hi, Jules. Hi, darling. Oh, yes. Carl, you bet. Your grandpa, you bet. I'll put him right on the heel chain right now. All right, Carl. There he is. He's right there. Right on there. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, Time Master, you're on there. Are you going to be joining Mama Yaya and I? And Val, are you going to be joining Mama Yaya and I Saturday night? Saturday night's the big night. Saturday night is July 25th, and that's going to be the mass meditation. And it's going to be powerful and beautiful and magical. Well, the meditation's at midnight. But Mama Yaya is going to open her room at like 9 or 10 my time. Yeah. Yay! Oh, goody. Awesome. Awesome. It's going to be very powerful live. It's going to be amazing. Yep. We have 2 minutes till we do our grid work in here. 222. You know what else I figured out, Time Master? It's 1221 mass meditation, right? 12 is 3 and 21 is 3, so it's 33. Hello, Rebecca Rose. I figured that out. I was looking at the thing on that, and it's like, whoa. The 1221 meditations have always been 33. Now, look, they tried to take the number 33 from us, but they can't. We are empowering the number 33 again. It sure is. It sure is. It's like our 33 is going to cancel out their 33. And I love it. Yep. 3 has always been my number. Yep. Every sunrise, every night, show me different kinds of light. I'll keep growing. Yes, Jules, you're a master player. You are a master player. With every breath, my soul can see heaven
lives in harmony. Heaven lives in harmony.
9 o'clock. Okay. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. That sounds great. All right, guys, here we go. Snap, snap, snap. It is time to do our grid work. So all y'all are on here because we do this together as a united collective, a Christ-conscious collective. We know who we are, and we are very powerful when we know who we are. So we are empowering each other. And this is our past loved ones. They're always with us. Anytime we think of them, they're right beside us. And this is us, our big old happy hearts, and our halo technology, which we get ideas from source. This is downloads or ideas. And sometimes this person will get an idea and this person will get an idea. This person won't do anything with that idea, but this person will run with it and create, right? So what we want is all of these ideas coming in to be created upon. Because we are the golden butterflies. We connect with the Aurelian arc, the golden arc, which we're going to be working with in a bit. And the Christos spiral. We are no longer in the fib of Nochi. We are in the Christos spiral, the flame codex. We work with earth, air, fire, water, and ether as alchemists for the whole world. And we go from 2 strands of DNA to 12 strands and beyond. There is no junk DNA. They lied. All our DNA has been activated. Once we know it is activated. No coincidences, Ariana. And this is also our room. And we are guided and watched over and protected in here. And Steffi did that for us. We are also watched over by our dragons. And Toothless is like the king of the dragons, right? So Katerina did this for us to remind us that the dragons are always with us. You just went through this door to become a heart-centered butterfly, and you are also solar plexus centered because your solar plexus is what connects you to source energy. And this is Forest Fairy's work. She did this for us a couple years ago and saw the dragons in here and all the beautiful energy in here, the unicorns. This is the white rabbit because we go down those rabbit holes in order to transmute them, the magic, the Magdalines. This is time travel because we use the timeline. We take the timeline and we bring it to the highest point that we can in here. That is other work that we're doing, and we come in as our higher selves. We are the rainbow butterflies of the Hopi prophecy, here to raise the frequency of this planet. And this is our armor of God invocation. Before we do this grid work, this most important grid work, we protect ourselves and our energy. So today we rise in light. Today we walk as flame. We put on the helmet of truth. Our minds are clear. We wear the breastplate of light. Our hearts are pure. We lift the shield of faith. No shadows may enter. And here is a big old lucky hug for everyone in here, creating and empowering yourself. And this is also a symbol of joy. Yes, the 963 is here. We wield the sword of spirit. Our voice is power. We stand in the shoes of peace. We walk with purpose. Our grid is sealed. Our flame is online. And our codex is alive. We are the love. We are the light. We are the truth. We are. And like I was telling you, on July 25th, we will be doing a mass meditation for peace, unity, respect, and love, creating the new earth, bringing the codes in and anchoring them on this planet, bringing the golden timeline into fruition. That's what we're doing. And this is our healing chain. And all these people have asked us to connect our energy with theirs so that they can heal themselves. So however you do that, with light language, with Reiki, with crystal healing, or with prayer. I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael and have him connect his energy to all these beautiful people and places. And we're going to send them love, light, and healing energy now. Niasadosh Korospiata Korosiata. Niasadosh Korospiata Korosiata.
Every heartbeat
Niasadosh Korospiata Korosiata.
Life is sweeter than it seems.
Oh, that's a beautiful time, Esther. All right, and this is our rainbow butterfly dream catcher. Now, if you're doing astral work, take this with you, but also take your dragon with you. And take and shield your energy before you go into the astral. Because if you don't, you will come back with bumps. You could come back with bumps, scratches, and scrapes. So we don't want you to do that. You're a light warrior, but we don't need you to come back with those. So Chris did that for us, sent that to me for us, and I use it every night. And yeah, it's really, really powerful. All right, we're going to do our Aurelian arc energy work. So what I want you to do is close your eyes if you can. Now you're gonna see this beautiful golden light above and below the earth. It's a thick golden energy of love. It comes straight from source. It kind of blankets the planet in this love energy. And I want you to take some of that energy and bring it into your heart. Bring it into your heart and let it sit there just for a moment and let it grow. Now as it grows, I want you to push it down into your solar plexus chakra. And push it down into your sacral chakra, down into your root chakra, down more into your earth star chakra, down into the core of the earth. From the core of the earth, I want you to see this golden ball of beautiful love energy go up through the ground and into the soles of the feet of every human being on this planet. Every being. And I want you to watch that golden light go up all their chakras. So it's going up the root chakra, right up through the crown chakra, and connecting to source energy, the central sun. So you're going to see a straight golden line of energy going down from the central sun, source energy, all the way down into the core of the earth. That person just had an epiphany. They just remembered who they are at a soul level. They just felt love in their heart like they'd never felt before. It was so beautiful. Whatever it looks like to you, use your imagination and create that moment for that person. And just sit there for just a moment. Sit in that thought.
Like a river to the sea, life keeps flowing naturally when I trust the path I'm on. Every doubt is finally gone.
Yes, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. I feel those goosebumps down my back. Goosebumps down my back. That is so powerful. Thank you for being here and doing that with me. All of you that come every day, it is so powerful and beautiful. And I hope you feel the joy in your heart when you do that work, because it is powerful work. We got an Unstoppable Heart. That's BX's song. Unstoppable Heart and Diamond Heart. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, we're going to get right into conversations with God. And he's saying some stuff that's really making us think, right? It's making us think, and if you resonate with this, take it. If you don't, leave it. This is a conversation between God and Neil Donald Walsh. This is book 2. We're on book 2. All right. We have a question. And the question that Neil has is about Histler. You know who I'm talking about. I can't say the name. I got to call it Histler. Because Neil is confused how a person like him could go to heaven. And God said he went to heaven. And so God is going to explain why. Oh my goodness. Yes, Irish. Me too, darling. Me too. Me too. I love that time, Master. All right. God says, well, Neil first says, we seem to have digressed here from the original question. And that was the original question. God says, not really. You asked about Hitler. Let me turn this down just a tad. Okay, better. He says, not really. You asked about Hitler. The Hitler experience was made possible as a result of group consciousness. Many people want to say that Hitler manipulated a group, in this case, his countrymen, through the cunning and the mastery of his rhetoric. But this conveniently lays all the blame at Hitler's feet, which is exactly where the mass of the people want it. Oh my goodness. That's why this is happening right now. I just got the bigger picture in my head. So we're going to be seeing things, big things happening on the outside world. As far as people being called out for some horrible things that they've done. And we just have to remember that they still have the spark in them. They still have the potential. God's saying they still have the potential. And when they leave this planet, they're going to heaven. There is no hell. They're going to heaven. I believe there's different the mansion worlds are spoken of in the Bible. And I believe there are different levels to heaven. But I don't even know if that's the truth. Okay. But let's see. He says, through the cunning and mastery of his rhetoric, but this conveniently lays all the blame at Hitler's feet, which is exactly where the mass of the people want it. But Hitler could do nothing without the cooperation and support and willing submission of millions of people. The subgroup, which calls itself Germans, must assume an enormous burden of responsibility for the Holocaust, as must, to some degree, the larger group called humans, which, if it did nothing else, allowed itself to remain indifferent and apathetic to the suffering in Germany until it reached so massive a scale that even the most cold-hearted isolationists could no longer ignore it. You see, it was collective consciousness which provided fertile soil for the growth of the movement. Hitler seized the moment, but he did not create it. It's important to understand the lesson here. A group consciousness which speaks constantly of separation and superiority produces loss of compassion on a massive scale. And loss of compassion is inevitably followed by loss of conscience. Conscience. A collective concept rooted in strict nationalism ignores the plight of others, yet makes everyone else responsible for yours, thus justifying retaliation, rectification, and war. Auschwitz was the solution to an attempt to rectify the Jewish problem. The horror of the Hitler experience was not that he perpetuated it on the human race, but that the human race allowed him to. The astonishment is not only that a Hitler came along, but also that so many others went along. Okay, so this is another thing I'm seeing, guys, is there are groups like ours that work for the dark. They work for negativity. They work for the dissolution of godliness, of holiness. But you know what? Our groups that are of light are so much more powerful than them. We just overpowered them. They are like, I can see them and they're running in fear. of the beautiful light power that we carry. So we have absolutely nothing to worry about. Nothing. Okay. We certainly are, Time Master. We are coming into her story. History is over. History is over. Her story is just beginning. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, but this is talking, but when I say the word Histler, I am including all of those, even in the now moments, that have done horrible things. It is a collective. So the shame is not only that collective has hurt millions of people, but also that millions of people had to be hurt before he was stopped. Right. The purpose of this experience was to show humanity to itself. Throughout history, you have had remarkable teachers, each presenting extraordinary opportunities to remember who you really are. These teachers have shown you the highest and the lowest of the human potential. Yes. They have presented vivid, breathtaking examples of what it can mean to be human, of where one can go with the experience, of where the lot of you can and will go, given your consciousness. The thing to remember, consciousness is everything and creates your experience. Group consciousness is powerful and produces outcomes of unspeakable beauty or ugliness. The choice is always yours. If you are not satisfied with the consciousness of your group, seek to change it. The best way to change the consciousness of others is by your example. If your example is not enough, form your own group. You be the source of the consciousness you wish others to experience. They will when you do. It begins with you. Everything, all things. Hi, chicken butt. You want the world to change? Change things in your own world. This group, this other group, gave you a golden opportunity to do that. That group's experience, like the Christ experience, is profound in its implications and the truths it revealed to you about you. Yet those larger awarenesses live. In the case of Histler or Buddha, Genghis Khan or Hare Krishna, Attila the Hun or Jesus the Christ, only so long as your memories of them live. That is why that certain group of people build monuments to the Holocaust and ask you never to forget it, for there is a little bit of Histler in all of you. And it is only a matter of degree. Wiping out a people is wiping out a people, whether at Auschwitz or Wounded Knee. So Histler was sent to us to provide us a lesson about the horrors that man can commit, the levels to which man can sink. Histler was not sent to you. Histler was created by you. He arose out of your collective consciousness and could not have existed without it. That is the lesson. The consciousness of separation, segregation, superiority, of we versus they, of us and them, is what creates that experience. And yes, it is happening in the now moment. This is from years ago. This experience. But there's still that experience on this planet right now. And that is what we're wiping out, guys. With our love and light and peace. With Plur. With the Pearl. Peace, unity, respect, and love. With peace, unity, respect, and love, those kind of experience can't even happen. Can't even happen. And it's about ready to say the same thing that I just said. The consciousness of divine brotherhood, of unity, of oneness, of ours rather than yours, mine, is what creates the Christ experience. When the path is ours, not just yours. When the joy is ours, not just mine. When the whole life experience is ours, then it is at last truly that, a whole life experience. That's right. So Neil still wants to know, why did this awful man go to heaven? Why? God says because he did nothing wrong. He simply did what he did. I remind you again that for many years, millions thought he was right. How then could he help but think so? If you float out a crazy idea and 10 million people agree with you, you might not think you're so crazy. The world decided finally that he was wrong. That is to say, the world's people made a new assessment of who they were and who they chose to be in relationship to this experience. That is what we're experiencing with all the billionaires in the world. Right now, in this now moment, we've all looked at these people in Hollywood and said, oh my gosh, I want nothing to do with those people. They are nothing like me. Right? They don't carry the same frequency that we do. A lot of them have sold their bodies. Yeah, you can't sell your soul. Your soul is never for sale because your soul belongs to God. So that's never for sale, but you can sell your body. You can sell your vehicle. Yes, you can. You can step aside inside of your vehicle and let something else step in. And that's what a lot of them have done. You can see it. You can see it. Their light is gone out of their eyes. That's truth. Look at them. Feel their energy. God says he held up a yardstick. He set a perimeter, a border against which we could measure and limit our ideas about ourselves. Christ did the same thing at the other end of the spectrum. Yeah, it's body snatching. It happens. It's called, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it right now. Soul scalping. That's what it's called. They call it soul scalping. They can't scalp a soul, so it isn't soul scalping. It's body snatching. Because they can't get our souls. God has our souls always. There have been other Christs and other, on the other spectrum, people. And there will be again. Be ever vigilant then. For people of both high and low consciousness walk among you, even as you walk among others. Which consciousness do you take with you? Not ever, Teresa. Not ever. Right, it's not happening anymore. This is the age of Aquarius now. This is the age of love and light. This is where people choose to ascend. We're no longer descending in consciousness. We have ascended our original consciousness. And Neil just keeps on. He says, I still don't understand how these kind of people could go to heaven. How he could have been rewarded for what he did. And God says, first, understand that death is not an end, but a beginning, not a horror, but a joy. It is not a closing down, but an opening up. The happiest moment of your life will be the moment it ends. That's because it doesn't end, but only goes on in ways so magnificent, so full of peace and wisdom and joy, as to make it difficult to describe and impossible for you to comprehend. So the first thing you have to understand, as I've already explained to you, is that that person, that evil person, didn't hurt anyone. In a sense, he didn't inflict suffering. He ended it. It was the Buddha who said life is suffering. The Buddha was right. And Neil says, but even if I accept that evil man didn't know he was actually doing good. He thought he was doing bad. God said, no, he didn't think he was doing something bad. He actually thought he was helping his people. And that's what you don't understand. No one does anything that is wrong given their model of the world. If you think that he acted insanely and all the while knew that he was insane, then you understand nothing of the complexity of human experience. He thought he was doing good for his people, and his people thought so too. That was the insanity of it. The largest part of the nation agreed with him. You have declared that he was wrong. Good. By this measure, you have come to define yourself. Know more about yourself. Good. But don't condemn him for showing you that. Someone had to. Oh my goodness. You cannot know cold unless there is hot. Up unless there is down. Left unless there is right. Do not condemn the one and bless the other. To do so is to fail to understand. For centuries, people have been condemning Adam and Eve. They are said to have committed original sin. I tell you this, it was the original blessing. For without this event, the partaking of the knowledge of good and evil, you would not even know the two possibilities existed. Indeed, before the so-called fall of Adam, these two possibilities did not exist. There was no evil. Everyone and everything existed in a state of constant perfection. It was literally paradise. Yet you didn't know it was paradise, could not experience it as perfection because you knew nothing else. Shall you then condemn Adam and Eve or thank them? And what say you? Shall I do with the evil ones? I tell you this, God's love and God's compassion, God's wisdom and God's forgiveness, God's intention and God's purpose are large enough to include the most heinous crime and the most heinous criminal. You may not agree with this, but it does not matter. You have just learned what you came here to discover. That's right. You came here what you learned to discover. You came here and learned what you were meant to discover. And that is, everybody goes to heaven. Everybody. Even the ones you think are evil, disturbed, psycho, whatever. Yeah, they're all going to heaven. Because God is forgiveness. That's right. All right. That was the main class for today. If there's anyone that would like to come up, I am going to get our Son of Orion ready for working on the 8th chakra at 11:11. We do it at 11:11 because that is a certain hour. There are some planetary things that go on at 11:11. We've gone over it before. So I won't go over it again. But yeah, if anyone wants to come up, come on up and share. Time Master, yes, love it. All right, brother.
Woohoo!
Hello.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what an honor to be in this sacred grounded space where we get to have more and more of these experiences. whether it's coming from a sacred book that was channeled from the age of Aquarius, but brought in, in the age of Pisces, the time travelers that have done that, the star seeds that were implanted early on in the age of Pisces to be the way showers for us.
Absolutely.
How grateful, we are to be able to go back on the wings of time and read what they wrote from the space of the age of Aquarius, which is where they were when the Golden Age, which is where they were when they wrote all of those sacred books, right? So, that takes me into the Numite frequencies and the Labradorite and the feathers, the antenna of consciousness itself. And
I gotta show you
the Dogon tribes, right? The serpent people. And the transformation.
Yeah, I was told to wear feathers today.
Excellent. Let me put a shirt on, and then I'll. I don't know if I can get on here without a shirt on, so let me put a shirt on, and then I'll show my face. So hold on just a moment. But yeah, what an honor it is to be here in this now moment, experiencing these conscious, clean mirrors of who we truly are. The essence of the beauty. And I loved what you read earlier about how each chakra is connected to a feeling, of like joy. I never had, and then also a color, right? Within that frequency vibration. I have no idea what my hair looks like right now, but I'm going to show my face here because I think it's relevant. There we go. Hi. So, but when we look at the frequencies of the grounding cord, many of us are starting to, through our enlightenment process, we are starting to alchemize the frequency of the original frequencies of copper, the CE1 vibration, which is found in the energy of the spirulina, right? When we look at the old programs in regards to Britney Spears and spirituality, the energy, vibration, connection all has to do with spirulina. That is the frequency, that powder, whether it's blue or green.
Oh, that stuff's really good for you.
Yeah, it's very high in the copper that our body can actually create grounding cords with, create boundaries with. And it opens us up to the memories, because the earth and cosmic channels begin to flow, and it opens up to the memories of what's going on in our 13th chakra, right? Whether we want to refer to that as past life incarnations or not, the experiences that we've had before, right? If we want to look at it as a before state of consciousness. So the imprints that you are placing on your walls, right, connected to the ancient Egyptians, connected to your frequencies, connected there with the frequencies of Labradorite, and also, lest we forget the one that has copper in it, the green one that has copper in it, from ancient Egypt, connected to the mistress Malachite.
That's Labradorite copper.
Yeah. The mistress of Malachite is an activation for specific star seeds, because the ancient Egyptians used to put crushed malachite underneath their eyes. Now, we wouldn't do this today because it's highly toxic, but it created induced trance-like states. And some of the Vesta goddesses, right, the original healing goddesses in the astral plane, they actually would adorn themselves with that to stay in the astral dream space longer, so they could heal warriors of the masculine and the feminine that were, struggling in various ways or physically hurt in some way, right? So it's just fascinating to be here with you and all of us here in the comments in the sacred space, because the work that we've been doing, the play that we've been doing behind the scenes through this tail end of the age of Pisces has not been easy. It's been excruciatingly challenging, because we came here with a specific vibration that really, for a time, really, magnetized those narcissists and those psychopathic energies towards us.
Oh, yes.
Because we're like a morsel to them, just just like, woo, So we, many of us thought that we were just less than dirt, cast aside, never going to amount to anything, all this kind of stuff.
For a long time.
Unconsciously programmed to believe that. However, that seed, that inner garden, that secret garden, right, been cultivating behind the scenes the whole time. And so, because, the astrology is now supporting our consciousness, now it's like we're feeling like we're being lifted up. It's amazing. And I got so many different activations in here, and I just want to say thank you so much. Because, as a projector, 2-4 splenic projector cross of service, it is my greatest honor to be able to project back the higher frequencies of who we are, instead of it just being constantly these old outdated mirrors, of where we've been, you know what I mean? But this now moment. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I'm a manifester, something manifester.
A manifesting generator?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. I don't put too much credence into just one system, because I think they're all relative.
Oh, me neither.
To,
yeah.
I don't put myself in a box, right? No matter how detailed the system, the human design system is extremely deep, extremely detailed. But to me, it's just another stepping stone. It's just
like
another
astrology, just like life path, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many
it's
ways
all
to
just
read
modalities
yourself.
Of consciousness.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've studied the different systems, and they have been very helpful to building rapport. Not only with other parts of myself, but with other human beings. Because some people might identify with astrology, or they might identify with numerology, or they might identify with the colors of the freaking rainbow.
Exactly.
It really doesn't matter. Or the dragons, or the But whatever it is, that's what creates that rapport. That's when the unconscious mind can be accessed. And then that's when we can learn how to, and many of us already have, reprogram our unconscious. Because some of those star seeds that you're reading those books from, right, they were in a deep theta alpha wave state.
Absolutely.
And they were bringing in that stuff clear as crystal. So when we go back and read it, that puts us into that space. Because they were in it. Vibration matches vibration. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on in my world. I look forward.
I'm always flying in here. I don't know where Spirit's going to take me, and it takes me all over the place. So never know.
And I look forward to Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be
Gaga
great.
Invited me. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that. So
it's going to be so powerful. I love connecting with the whole world collective. It's just, oh my God, such a beautiful, loving collective that
especially
we are.
With the butterflies,
oh
I incorporate, butterflies and owls, because the wise owls, the Mojavitas, those that have been the guardians of the galaxy and things like that, and kind of holding the energy and the planet in a quarantine space, so we evolve as souls through the age of Pisces, all of that energy, I incorporate into my guided meditations. And so, we get that owl spirit, and that remember of seeing things, and also the bat. The bat is also very significant when it comes to batting home runs, right? And in the memory of home within ourselves. Anyway, I'll pause there. Thank you.
Oh, where'd Ashley go? She was up here just a second. Yeah, butterflies, super strong for me after my mom, what happened with my mom. I told Spirit, I said, okay, if my mom, because I was hearing her in my head, I mean, and I still do, but it was really, really loud at first when she first passed. So I told her, if this is really you, send me butterflies. And I'll tell you what, butterflies came from everywhere, from my brother, who doesn't even have anything spiritual in his bone, and from friends and just everywhere. Just butterflies just inundated me, and I'm just like, whoa. I am not imagining this. So yeah, and that's where it started with me for butterflies years and years ago. So yeah.
Well, it's an interesting thing about butterflies, because when we look at the root word of that, we've got but, and then we've got butter, right? And butter is an interesting frequency, because that has to do with Butte, Montana. There's a copper mine that was abandoned in Butte, Montana, and it was very toxic, and that's actually where a lot of the...
Beth is a butterfly gardener. That's amazing. Oh, I spent many years in Montana, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you probably did a lot of energetic work there, because that's where a lot of the archons were being birthed, was in
Great Falls,
filled with water in Butte, Montana. There was an abandoned copper mine there, and they were using that as a channel to come in and create entities and things like that.
Now I do.
It's no longer happening now, but yeah. So that's pretty cool that you live there. Yeah.
Yeah, for many.
I'll pause there.
Yeah, for a long time. My dad was in the Air Force, so we were stationed in Montana, and then my brother fell in love with it, so he was stationed there. And then in 2016, when I had my walk-in experience, I kind of went a little cuckoo. So I went to live with my brother for a while in Hamilton, Montana.
How was your walk-in experience? Have you talked about that before? Is that
something
that you talk about publicly?
Oh, yeah.
How was that? What happened?
It was the wildest thing. I woke up one day and knew it just had to go. Just had to go. 30 years of marriage and everything. I just had to go. I had to get out. And because I didn't know where I was, I didn't recognize my husband. I didn't feel the feelings. And I just was like, I got to go. So I went to my sister's house in Alabama. And from there, I went to a friend's house who I thought was a friend, but he ended up being not such a friend, because I had the weirdest experiences. I can't even explain them. I saw demons. I saw angels. I saw everything. This was in 2016. Think about what happened in 2016 politically. Okay. So I was getting this thing come in that I had to vote a certain way so that this other certain person wouldn't get in. And the choices that I made, and then I was locked up for 3 days because I hugged a cop. I got battery on a Leo. And then my brother showed up in court. I was signing my paperwork in the prison, in jail. It wasn't prison, it was jail. I was just locked in a box for 3 days. But I was signing the paperwork, Jesus. Yep. I mean, I went totally crown chakra, just done. And then I went to Montana, lived in Montana for a while with my brother in Hamilton, and just got my faculties back a little bit. Went into the Akashic Records, found out that me and my husband have been living lives together for many, many years, thousands of years together. And I fell in love with him all over again. He came all the way to Montana with our 2 dogs. We had 2 at the time. I have 4 now. Chihuahuas. And he came to Montana. We lived there for a year together, and it's been beautiful and perfect ever since. So that's my story. And yeah.
Wow.
I wrote a book.
That's amazing.
I wrote a book because I've been through a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. That was my walk-in experience. It was pretty wild. Pretty wild. And there was another experience where I went to some place, I don't know where, I think it was like in the astral, but I was more lucid than the astral, because I was there and there was stone seats and there was a council in front of me. And we were making a decision about something, and I was there. And the council was, I don't know what kind of decision it was, but it was a huge decision made for the collective at the time. And I'll never forget that experience. It was so weird. And there was like emojis, emojis. They were on the floor dancing around and singing emojis. And it's like, I can't even remember some of this stuff that happened. It's just such wild stuff. And I was locked up then too. So I've been locked up a couple times in my life. But I
have too.
Yeah.
Not in jail, but in psych wards.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
Because,
well, I did the psych ward once.
Not because I was crazy. Not because I was crazy, but because they couldn't figure out why I was reacting so intensely, to stimuli. And so I actually, you want me to tell you a little bit about my awakening experience?
Sure, yeah.
Ashley, was there anything you wanted to say before I talk a little bit? I just want to give her space if she needs to.
Thank you so much for giving me this space. Yes, I actually do like to say something real fast, but I don't want to take up the whole time that you guys are having a beautiful conversation.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. I was just trying to share for many days about just last weekend how I was just guided into a live in TikTok, and I see this Grand Canyon with a spiritually awakened, older guy, and he's really cool, and he was just very sharing and opening his mind and his heart and his vibe, and it was very nice being in there. So we were just going for a walk, and and we look at the Grand Canyon, and all of a sudden we see these dark gray clouds by northern Arizona and by the Colorado River and everything. And we're just oh wow, looks like a storm coming. So we just kept on walking on this hiking trail, and we came to a new spot, and then we seen the temple, right? And it was just a regular temple, just a triangle, and there was dark clouds surrounding it, and you can just see it raining on top of it, and it was really cool. So it was really cool to me because it brought symbolism and reflection to me of renewal, and I'm in a new chapter in my life, and it was really fun. So I just wanted to share how that image was carrying such a strong sense of symbolism, synchronicity.
Yeah.
And we're all being led, and it was just really fun. And I just wanted to share that.
Awesome.
Reflecting.
Perfect. Thank you.
And, I understand.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Very cool.
Yeah. So when I went through my awakening, I had been, a couple of years before that, I had been deprogrammed. I was raised in a high control religious group. I was isolated out in the woods of Alaska for 10 years and fully indoctrinated into that religious group. Grew up way out in the woods, no electricity or running water, 75 miles from any kind of city or any kind of, populated place. There was only about 200 people, settlers out there when we moved out there in 1984. Anyway, so fast forward many years later, which would have been about 25 years ago, I went to this place in Massachusetts called Meadowhaven. This was after my divorce from my wife of 3 years. Prior to this, I was a professional caricature artist in Las Vegas. Full-time caricature artist, worked 14 hours a day. Full color caricatures, and drew, thousands of dollars worth of caricatures a day, and worked for a multi-million-dollar caricature company. No clue about true spirituality, no clue about anything to do with any synchronicities, nothing, just completely clueless. But I was working at the Luxor one day because I worked for all the Mandalay Bay casinos in Las Vegas, and I lost my ability to draw. And I'd spent years drawing caricatures. I was really, really good, right? And I was sitting there in the Luxor, and our kiosk at the Luxor, and listening in the background. They had this ride that tourists ride on, and it's one of those heavy chair things, and it's got a screen in front of it, and you go into this room, and then the chair and everything moves while you're riding. It's all electronic and stuff, but they had this sound thing going on for like several years when I worked in there that said, you're going to take the ride of your life and all this kind of stuff, right? And it was always just on a loop repeating that. So when I'm drawing caricatures of people that are coming in there, they're all dressed professionally oftentimes, they're tourists or whatever, and I've got these screens behind me, everybody's seeing what I'm drawing and all this stuff. And anyway, one day, couldn't draw anymore. I was looking at their noses, and I was so indoctrinated at the time, spiritually, with the religion, the high control religion that I was in, that I would write on a piece of paper the names of every single person that I drew, because that was my program at the time, and then I would pray for them afterwards. So 30, 40, 50 people a day, and I would have lists and I would pray for them. They didn't know that I was doing this right. Wow. And I didn't know how ignorant I was about praying over people or praying on people or any of those kind of things. I had just no clue, right? Because of all the programming that I had. So one day, I'm sitting there and I'm getting ready to draw, and I'm looking at the person, and I can't differentiate their nose from anybody else's nose. And before, I could look at a person's nose and draw it within seconds, right? No problem, right? And so I'm sitting there, and I start hyperventilating, and an ambulance comes, right? And that was the beginning of the end for me in terms of cracking me open.
Wow.
My face started to have blotches all over. I got demoted from the company I was working for. My cell phone was taken away totally. And I had no clue of what was getting ready to happen a couple of years later. A couple of years later, my wife left me, right? We met at that caricature company in Vegas. She left me, actually 3 years later, precise. And then I went through massive spiritual, awakenings, right? I ended up at this place called Meadowhaven. And when people would touch me, just in my life, when people would touch me, because I've been so traumatized, I went through such deep trauma. I was diagnosed with complex PTSD, stuff. Anyway, this is a long story, but long story short, right? I got deprogrammed to this place called Meadowhaven in Massachusetts, Lakeville, Massachusetts. It's a live-in facility. And there's a husband and wife team that have been doing this for years, people that have been in high control religious groups, that have been on the news, they've been all, for years and years and years. They knew exactly what they were doing. So it took about a year and 6 months to get deprogrammed. Very structured, use cognitive behavioral therapy. They use the Myers-Briggs personality to separate, the core personality of me from the pseudo personality of the group that I was in and all this stuff. Then things went from bad to worse because they didn't have a place to take me, and I tried to work. I couldn't work. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the vitality. I didn't know I was a projector in the human design system. I knew nothing, right? Nothing. And then, they dropped me off at a psych ward in Massachusetts, and I was there. And I ended up, it was interesting because when I went in there, the doctor said, well, you've taken all the tests, and we know that you're not crazy, but in order to be here, you're going to need to take some of the medications that we offer. I was like, okay. So they take your shoes, they take your belt, they take, everything, right? And I experienced all kinds of weird things with all kinds of weird people in there. I won't get into it, but the cool thing is at that time, I still had my drawing ability. It would sort of come back in waves and things like that. And so I ended up drawing some patients in there. And it brought joy to them. And then the nurses at the nurses station there, they got wind of it, and so they had me draw everybody in there.
You were
including
right
them.
where you were supposed to be.
Exactly.
That's what I figured out too.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so the other thing too, and I know this is your live, I don't want to take it over,
No,
but
you're good.
the other thing too is that, so a couple of years later, through a series of miraculous events, and if you looked at my astrology chart, if you know anything about astrology, right, it's been
Okay.
crazy things that I've gone through. I've lived in all kinds of places with all kinds of people over the years. I'm currently living in my dad's garage, Anyway, I ended up getting to Colorado. And I didn't know, according to astrocartography, because I knew nothing about astrology or astrocartography in terms of location astrology. Since then, I've gone back and looked at all my experiences. I've tracked everything. And everything is so accurate to what I experienced, right? And so I went through this massive awakening there. I was in this transitional homeless shelter called the In-Between. Can you imagine that? In Longmont, Colorado, it's literally called the In-Between. It's a brick building. It's been there for a long time. It was a prisoner of war camp, right? And it also was a hospital at one point. It's been there for, it's right next to the police station, you see. Anyway, so I'm there. It's coming on 2012, right? 2011 is wrapping up. I had a profound activation from some random woman on Facebook that brought me over to her home, and she had kids and stuff like that. And she spoke in all different kind of dialects, and we did a shroom thing. Never experienced that before. She did a reading for me, and she goes, Andy, first of all, you don't even know who you are. Secondly, you're getting ready to go through the most powerful, transformative death and rebirth journey that you could ever possibly imagine. And I was like, well, So then I didn't know what she was talking about. Then fast forward after the In-Between, I went to a 7-day water fast, right? I was just listening to my gut instincts, lost a ton of weight, ton of muscle. The people there told me, they said, that love me, they work there and they love me. I've been going to therapy and stuff with them and became friends with one of my therapists because one day I was at therapy, right? And I'm sitting there doodling and she goes, well, what are you drawing? And I drew this horse, these two horses in this wooden frame, right? Now, I don't normally draw horses. It was like I channeled it, right? So I drew these horses in this wooden frame. And she looked at it and she started crying. And she goes, my dad gave me that picture before he passed. And it is on my wall right now in my home.
Wow.
And so from then on forward, she's like, I got your back. I don't know what you're going through. You're going through some kind of spiritual journey, but I've got your back, right? And that was literally at the In-Between where they have therapists and everything.
Wow.
And so her name was Teresa, I believe. Anyway, she's Scorpio. Anyway, so then other things started to happen. My mom contacted me in the dream world. I hadn't had any contact with my mom. All of a sudden, she's reaching out to me. I had been taking a dream journal. Saw these weird, crazy things happening in the dream journal where these Native Americans were showing up and doing powwows and all this kind of stuff. I didn't know my mom was taking care of Native Americans before they passed. And
Wow.
she was a caretaker. So then that was happening in Alaska. And before they passed, they made a beeline right to me in the dream world because I had huge beef with my mom. So one day, my mom calls me, right? And she's talking to me on the phone. And she goes, she had a lot of mental health problems and tumors growing in her brain. She was attacked heavily most of her life. And anyway, beautiful soul though. And so she's telling me about this experience that she had with Native Americans where they invited her into this powwow and they offered her a pew-pew and a blanket. And that's exactly what I saw a month before in the dream world. And I was like, and my mom didn't believe anything. Any of this stuff. She was raised, Seventh-day Adventist like I was, I mean, she wasn't raised, but she was heavily indoctrinated into it, right? And so anyway, I'm sitting there bawling my head off, releasing all this stuck anger and animosity that I had for my mom over the years because she never held me or touched me or loved me or gave me any sort of affection. Nothing like that, right? And then a couple weeks later, she called me again, which she never did. and she was just randomly talking, and all of a sudden she said, oh yeah, and then she described this other dream that I had perfectly to a T about this Native American that showed up, and nobody else wanted to take care of this older Native American indigenous cultured man because he was aggressive and he was mean and he would flip people off and he would crap his pants and he would do all kinds of stuff. And he did all this in the dream world, right? And so I went back and Mom's just randomly talking on the phone. I didn't know that she had brain tumors in her that were taking over her brain. I didn't know that, right? So anyway, long story short, I ended up going back to Alaska after the in-between, taking care of her, going through a bunch of more deep transformations and traumas and all this kind of stuff. It was insane. But my point in all of this is that our awakening process is different for each and every one of us. And the frequency and vibration of strength that we have to keep on going is the strength and integrity of those that are assisting us through this process that we haven't been seeing, with our physical eyes. And the fact that we are all of it. That's just a small tidbit of my awakening. I could literally write a book as well. Maybe
Do it.
Someday I will.
Yeah. Do it.
Maybe someday I will. But yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. And I love how we're to this point now. Because it's not about the trauma anymore. It's not about the trauma bonding. It's not about the attachment to someone or something. We can attach to it, and then we can equally unattach from it. We can get to have the experience, and then we can let it go. Or we can keep what we choose to and then let go of the rest. But the beautiful thing about the Archons not being here anymore, and the reptilians and all this stuff, and all these things that was getting distorted through this tail end of the age of Pisces, right? It's beautiful to know now that they don't have any food here. There's no more food, right? And the entire lower astral plane has been completely cleaned out now. I mean, the machine spiders aren't even present anymore. And so, there's a lot of beautiful energies that are being seeded now. And I think it's amazing. And you are a testament to that. And I think it's fascinating that you were in Montana, because
for a lot of
that's
years.
where, and I did, when I was in Alaska, I did work with this woman. I call it work, but
I was in Massachusetts too. I grew up in New Hampshire. I was born in New Hampshire.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. See, these synchronicities and the magnetism, this is the beautiful thing about the toroidal field and a consciousness connected to our heart chakra, is that it is magnetic. It is an energy that attracts, very similar energies. And so even within this communication, right, there can be a lot of synchronicities that people in the comments are experiencing, even when you and I are communicating.
We find that all the time. And I'm a quantum healer, so I've had sessions with a lot of these people, and we have past lives together.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We're all connected. That's why I say we're one, because we're each other's mirrors. We're all connected. And yes. I've seen it.
Yes.
Lived it. Know it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. And the interesting thing, and I learned this from Jim Carrey, because, he went through a pretty massive awakening. I don't know where he is now. Some people speculate that he's not even on the planet anymore. But anyway, he was talking about how with depression, because years ago I was diagnosed with severe depression and also severe anxiety. And I had literal doctors and psychiatrists tell me I would never get off that medication. I would be on it for the rest of my life because my autonomic system was so far off the charts. I experienced some severe life and death situations, right, where I witnessed some pretty horrific things, right? And so I accepted that programming at the time. And I was happy. I was elated to get a diagnosis. I was so happy to get a diagnosis. Now think about this. How many of us, as we're coming out of this age of Pisces, have been so happy to just get a diagnosis? But one thing Jim Carrey said is that the depression, I'm paraphrasing here, right? But depression has to do with environment that we're around. We weren't taught that we were empaths. We weren't taught that we were super sensitive. We weren't programmed to believe that our sensitivity had value.
We had to learn that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. And so I've spent years accessing my unconscious mind through self-hypnosis. That's when I first started having major breakthroughs, was when I started programming my own unconscious mind through theta and alpha waves. And now I do hypnosis for other people and different forms of hypnosis in order to help them let go of parts of themselves that are stuck, right? But I did experience quantum healing hypnosis from a practitioner when I was worked as a psychic reader and medium in Alaska about 4 years ago. So it was before COVID, and she showed up one day, and I had quite a profound experience with that, and so did the other people that worked there. Had to go to imports where I worked in the Kenai Peninsula. So, it's interesting that you do that, right? That quantum healing, because that's really where it's at, is getting that information. You probably know about Dolores Cannon then, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
So it's fascinating that you use similar modality within terms of accessing the unconscious mind, because our conscious mind, now the beautiful aspect is, in my opinion, in my experience, is that we're now seeding this beautiful golden age, which I personally like to call the copper age, because I think that copper is really what's opening us up more as star seeds once we get the real copper into our body. But anyway, which maybe that opens up the space that really
I
invites
put copper in my
trans-
water every day. I have a
energy.
crystal wrapped in copper, and I put it in my water every day. It's at the bottom of my cup every day for a year now.
Awesome. Yeah. And that reminds me of shungite. Many of us star seeds become aware that shungite, when you put it in the water, it actually helps us sort of keep the vampires, the psychic vampires, at bay.
I believe it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so many openings. The beautiful thing is, and I don't know how much you know about astrology, but the beautiful thing is Neptune, which is very much water energy,
Mm-hmm.
and the dream state, and how our imagination, all that stuff, is going through Aries, which rules the head, right, for the next 13 years. So this energy of imagining and then seeing verifiable proof is happening now. Saturn is solidifying it, because Saturn is going through Aries for the next couple of years. So it's solidifying what we're imagining. And this is why it's so important now for us, starseeds, to be doing what you're doing, right? Showing verifiable proof of the names written down, in the butterfly, and all this stuff, because people that are rooted into the earth that are starseeds, they're like looking at it, they're like, oh, they're okay, I can see that, right? And then they get activated from that experience. And now we've got a whole collective of us that are, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but yeah.
That's right.
It's just,
without your imagination, you're not connecting to your higher self. You're just,
right.
It's not going to happen. You have to connect with your imagination.
Yeah.
To connect with your higher
Like
self.
SpongeBob.
And once you do,
Imagination.
blows up like crazy. And it's a great thing.
Especially when we release the seemingly negative emotions connected to old thought streams from the past, and then we connect in positive emotions. This is why I honor Abraham Hicks, and she talks about the vortex and going into the vortex and what lights you up inside, what makes you feel alive, like you're wanting to wake up in the morning, right? That energy is so powerful and so potent, because it reminds me of Harry Potter's map, where everything starts to move around you, right? Where you're just rooted, and then everyone else starts to move around you, right? And that's where that vibration attracts that vibration. It's just beautiful. When I did my live yesterday, I kept saying, because I kept experiencing it, which is the first time this happened, it tells me, there's so much change, positive change happening on such a massive collective level, is I kept being so surprised at how light I was feeling in my body. You know, I was just like, and I kept saying it after I would do an activation or something like that. I would be like, somebody here is feeling really light in their body because this just feels amazing. You know, and it's that angel energy, right? It's that angel
Absolutely.
vibration. It's just incredible. But at the same time, we got that beautiful grounding cord, you know, that's keeping us locked in to the planet. You know, so we're bringing that energy into the space, onto the planet. I like to refer to her as the Emerald Dragon because that's how she first appeared to me, as the Emerald Dragon. And she didn't consume me; the Red Dragon did. In my actual awakening at the in-between, I was consumed by a massive red dragon that was strapped to this millstone, and I couldn't move. And it was a lucid astral projection experience. And he kept consuming me.
That's
like
becoming your flame. That is the moment you became your flame. When that red dragon consumed you, that's a fire dragon. That's a flame dragon.
Okay,
You
so
became your flame at that point.
Okay, yeah, because it was terrifying. And the crazy part was, this is after I went through my meditation, I lost all that weight. You know, I told you I fasted for water fast for 7 days. Do not recommend that for people. Anyway, I remember I fell asleep, and all of a sudden it was like I was just strapped to this thing. But before that, I was pulled down to the center of the earth, and there was like this cave, this opening, and these massive claws came out. And they said in this most like ancient voice, they said, why have you awakened me? I've done nothing wrong. Right? Or why have you disturbed me? I've done nothing wrong, or something like that. And then right after that, I shook myself awake, right? In the physical world, because it was terrifying. I never experienced anything like that before. And then I fell back asleep, and I was strapped to that thing, and the millstone, couldn't move, and all I saw was this massive dragon just consuming me. And he would pull me down to the center of the planet. Like I could feel the pull of going down. I could feel the heat, and everything down there, right? And then, and I could hear him breathing, right? And just consuming me. And he did this many, many times and acted like he really enjoyed it, you know? And I was just like, this is really terrifying. And so anyway, I got to the point, and I'm an Aries, right? So I fight for everything, right? I'll just fight to the bitter end. I don't care, right? And I've been through so much already. So it's just like, and I've been through so much trauma. So I was able to handle that kind of trauma. But I mean, it was like a real dragon consuming you. I mean, it's just literally, you know? And so anyway, he's pulling me down. Every time I fall asleep, he'd pull me down. And I got tireder and tireder. And this lasted for hours and hours and hours, to the point.
It's metamorphosis. It's a metamorphosis. That dragon was becoming you. You were becoming the dragon as one.
Oh, well, that makes sense because I speak dragons.
Yes.
So
yes.
That makes sense. And he's been, you know, with me ever since.
Yes.
But the crazy part was, and this is the cool part, is that I finally gave up because I was just too tired. And when I gave up, I was still on the millstone, right? And I was pulled down to the center of the earth, but I went a little bit to the right. And I ended up landing on this beautiful emerald dragon. And she was flying. It was the most wonderful experience I've ever experienced in my life. And she was flying, and it was in the center of the planet. And I could feel her massive neck, you know, and the wings and just everything. And it was so beautiful. I'm going to cry just thinking about it. Anyway, when she opened up her mouth, all I heard was the voice of 1,000 angels singing. I mean, it was the most beautiful. I've never heard anything like it ever since, you know, that. Then she landed, right, on this like massive boulder. And I looked over to my right, and there was this opening of this crystal cave. And inside there, I couldn't see very deep inside there, but there was all these crystals inside there, right? Then somebody outside of my door in the physical world, the maintenance people, they slammed the door, and the door would slam really loud when they would come in and out, and it woke me up. And I've never been back there since, right? But that experience was so profound. Even talking about it now is like reliving it over again. But I had never considered what you said there, so thank you for sharing that with me, because that's 100% true.
I just seen it.
And not only that, is in the Mayan galactic signatures, I'm what's referred to as a red overtoned dragon, based off of my birthday. And I'm a serpent. I'm the original serpent vibration, the one tone in the Mayan cross, which is known as the Kaan, right? So interesting mirrors there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. We run past the thing, so that's okay.
Oh.
That's okay, because Spirit has led us here for this. Because it happens to others. We are mirrors of each other. So I am a mirror of you. You are a mirror of me. But we're also mirrors of everyone. Everyone in this portal.
Yes.
We're mirrors of each other. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we are. Chicken butt. Yeah. And someone said to us, we look alike. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We all have like the same facial face. If you got all of us in boxes, and we do on when we dance in the morning and stuff, we all get in boxes. We look at each other and we're like, we have the same features.
Yes, yeah. I'm from Spica in the constellation Virgo is where my soul originates from, which is the double fixed star. And it's in the right hand of the angel. And that's where my soul originates from. The interesting thing about that is that they have a hive mind consciousness there, but it's nothing to do with control. It's all to do with love. You see, there's no boundaries. When I came here in this lifetime and I looked around, even as a boy, right? I looked around and I was so frustrated. I remember the only thing that I could find joy from was the bluebell flowers when I was like 5, 6 years old. There was trash all over. We would take walks, on the streets, and there was trash in all of the culverts and everything like that. And I just couldn't even believe it. I was shocked, and that's before all the heavy indoctrination happened, but I just couldn't even believe it. And then, of course, I was raised by a narcissistic, stepfather, and that was 30 years older than my mother, and he hated my guts, so there was no room for me, whatever. I was a scapegoat, and then indoctrinated at the same time, and then drug out in the woods. That was in Washington, and then drug out in the woods, in 84, 7 years old, out there until I was, 10 years later is when I ended up leaving. But yeah, it's just interesting, the life paths and the choices that we have made as souls coming into these bodies and what we've chosen to experience,
Yeah.
And at the same time, being fully human. I've been on disability since 2012, and I'm looking forward to getting off of it here pretty soon, and I can feel it coming, but it's just like at the mercy of other people, codependency up to kazoo, having learned so many things from very strong, powerful women that I dated and lived with and things like that, traveled all over the United States, and all this stuff. And it's just amazing how much people have suffered, how much they have held in, how much they have allowed themselves to be abused and controlled and manipulated, and then become the abusers and controllers and manipulators, right? It's just crazy. But when you look at this Pisces, the two fish going in opposite directions, right? The slippery slope of that energy, trying to grab a fish, they're slippery little suckers, right? But then the water energy, because that's the emotions, that's the memory. The waters of it, and that's been all frozen. Literally, it was all frozen before because of the ice age and all this stuff. So now all this is melting, and we're starting to remember. And many of us are remembering everything now. I keep saying to myself, even in my lives, I remember everything. Or I'll just say the word remember, because it activates something in us.
Yes, it does.
Right? It's beautiful. Anyway.
Yes, it does.
I will pause there. Thank you so much.
All right.
It's been wonderful.
Yes, it's been awesome getting to know you more, brother.
Yeah.
Namaste. My soul knows your soul, and I love you, angels. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Go out and sparkle and shine and just be your higher selves in love.
So much love.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Like rivers finding their way home, no true heart.